Hey everybody, welcome back to Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some Jujutsu Kaisen. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. Theta, you got a comment to read first.
Yes, you got Alex V9 from Jujutsu Kaisen 0 says, "Here are some clarifications about the film and story so far. No
Okay.
spoilers. By the time you see this, I predict you will be on sorry, I don't know why I said that twice, episode 3 or 4 of season 2. And here we are sitting down to record what? Episode 4. So,
That's right.
you were in the ballpark. Point 0. A clarification of my clarification. These come from the same moments/chapters in the manga that had to be omitted for the anime's pacing. The author often explains things in extra pages at the end of the chapters.
Yeah.
Point 1. The film is an adaptation of the Jujutsu Kaisen prototype. It had another very long name, later renamed Jujutsu Kaisen 0. That prototype would later be integrated into the story as a prequel. Originally, the protagonist was Yuta, but was later changed/replaced to Yuji.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Point 2. Yuta was already mentioned in the very first season in episode 5, where Megumi commented that he was overseas, now revealed in Kenya.
Okay, so it's just been a while since we've seen it then. Got
Well,
it.
since we were just being introduced to the school, we didn't know that we wouldn't
We
have
didn't
known it
know
was
the
Yuta until the movie, and we wouldn't know
right.
who was overseas, and the fact they didn't show up throughout the entire season 1, we just kind of
Mhm.
forgot that mention even existed.
A contextless clue, yeah.
Point 3. Special grade sorcerers are very rare in the world/story. Currently only 4 exist, of which only 3 have been shown. Satoru Gojo, Suguru Geto, and the most recent Yuta Akutsu. By the time you read this, you will know the last one. Oh, I guess that's what's his name with the sword.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I could have been the girl, right? It could have been the girl technically. They haven't really told us who the guy is.
Yeah.
If they did, I've forgotten already. Fuck me. By the way, Yuji is considered to be a first grade sorcerer on par with Nanami, the 7-3 sorcerer.
Okay, yeah, I guess that checks out.
Point 4. Even though Gojo is a special grade, he is on the level of his own. The other 3 special grade sorcerers are not even close to his level.
Yes, but as far as we've gone over the special grade stuff, it's just category of its own. We've stopped counting. It's like you're above the level we can care about.
Point 5. There are more special grade curses than sorcerers. This is because, as said previously, the grades of a sorcerer are greater than the grades of curses. Example, first grade sorcerer greater than first grade curses.
Okay, yeah, it's like we are confident you can beat everything below this point, and that makes it make a little bit more sense. So the first grade sorcerers that are fighting all the specials is basically on par, and you shouldn't do that because it's dangerous.
Point 6. Maki is a 4th grade and is only considered a sorceress due to Gojo's whims. He recommended her. In the eyes of the Jujutsu Society, in the eyes of the Jujutsu Society, she is not a sorceress. Same reason why she is not promoted to a higher grade, even though Maki is at the 2nd grade level.
Yeah, so basically, weird pet project of Gojo's that people are keeping around because they can't find an excuse to get rid of her yet. Which goes over the whole backstory we went over during the school event.
Point 7. Gojo did not kill Geto on those 2 occasions because of the appreciation he had for him.
That I think they specifically mean like the end of the movie, right? He's not actually dead then.
The preface to this was literally that they were only talking about the movie story so
Okay,
far.
okay. Yeah, so I guess Geto just went unconscious there next to a wall. No one found him and he walked away later. Got it.
Point 8. Gojo did kill Geto in that final scene where we can hear a cutting sound. This is much clearer and obvious. Sorry, this is much clearer and obvious in the manga. The question is, how is he alive?
Yeah, okay, well, now
Literally
we're right
countering
back where
your
we
last
started.
comment.
Damn it. Curse you for taking us on a ride. Yeah. How's he alive? What's up?
Point 9. As far as it is confirmed in Jujutsu Kaisen lore, there is no afterlife. The soul just ceases to exist. This could be debatable.
Yeah, we were having that debate, weren't we?
Well, I mean, there is an afterlife. It's just the real world. If you die, well, what is the afterlife but just a transition of existence, right?
If you still are on Earth, you're not in the afterlife, is the general rule. If you were a ghost hanging around after death, that's not the afterlife. That is just you are stuck here.
Okay, you
That
just
is
said
usually how it is
Griff, you just
talked
said
about.
you're hanging around after death. Well, death. What comes after death? Or what would death be?
The
Death would
afterlife is usually talked about as a location spirits go. That is the thing that where now that you're dead, you are going there. We're never going to see you again. That's the conceptualization of it. So here, when you go to do that, you're gone. You're just destroyed. It's over.
no, literally afterlife is used to talk about a Ghostbusters movie. Also, what people most use the word for does not actually mean that's the definition of the word. So,
Mhm.
afterlife just means after life. So,
But
if you're a
the
ghost,
afterlife is the place that is not Earth anymore.
doesn't have to be. Literally,
That's the way people talk
if
about
you
it,
watch
though.
the movie Ghost, that's not what they talk about the afterlife. Also, the afterlife isn't even a the,
What about
considering
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice is on Earth.
Right, and he talks about not going to the afterlife. You should stay here and haunt people because it's terrible
Beetlejuice
in the afterlife,
Beetlejuice
and then the
also
afterlife
covers
kills you.
multiple things that happen to you after you die. Not all of them are the afterlife. One of them is literally Mars, which is
Right.
technically still the same plane of existence. So
if
pointedly,
if you go to Mars, is that the afterlife? That's the question we'll leave here with today. What's the next one?
my point is pointedly that if you leave your body into a new existence, that is your afterlife.
There is the problem here is again the concepts are mixed together because there's one word for it: the state of being dead, and the place you go after you are dead. That is not Earth.
I
That
think
people
you're creating.
conceptualize.
I'm going to move
Yeah.
on, but I think you're creating new definitions for no reason.
Nope.
Yeah, well,
Go on.
you
Go
can't
on
tell
then.
me
Go
no when I'm telling you what my thought is.
on.
You can say I'm not. You can't say
I'm not
nope.
making it up on the fly, is what I'm saying.
Well, you are. Moving on. Point 10. Any person, whether sorcerer or not, if his death is surrounded by negativity, whether by oneself or others, may become a cursed spirit. Depending on how much cursed energy slash negative thoughts there is in this situation, will indicate the power level of that spirit. That's why Rika is so powerful. All that energy came from Yuta.
Right. So that's the basic premise we have here in this show, which is that it's all negative energy. Like, compare and contrast to Chainsaw Man, where it's entirely fear based, and that determines the power of their spirits and demons over there, right? Is that better or worse, do you
I mean,
think?
it's all basically the same. Like we said, Chainsaw Man, and I think even when we were watching Chainsaw Man, I was saying
Mhm.
American Gods, which is then
Oh
just
yeah.
the power of belief, is the same concept.
Yeah, but here, like, to stop bad cursed spirits from happening, you would have to specifically go, everyone needs to have a positive attitude at all times,
No,
right?
just you hotbox everybody who's dying.
No bad vibes, just smoke yourself to death.
Point 11. Related to the previous point, that is why Gakukanji, Kyoto school principal, the old man with the guitar, explained in episode 14 that the first rule when killing a sorcerer is to do it with cursed energy, since these are the most likely to become cursed spirits and come back from the dead.
Right, make sure you do the job, yeah. Uh, Gosh, that would be like such a weird second level of a fight to go through. You go, I definitely killed this guy. He was the most powerful opponent I ever fought. Turn your back, look back again. There's his ghost, and he's now even more powerful.
Well, I think the
That's just
idea is
the
also
worst.
that what happens when a normal person kills a sorcerer by accident, right?
Mhm.
Stray bullet, and then boom, they become a more powerful person.
I've become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Yeah.
Point 12. Miguel only worked for Geto. Now he is Gojo's ally out of obligation.
Yeah, that checks out. I feel it.
Point 13. Gojo went to visit Yuta during episodes 4 and 19 of the first season.
I'm guessing those are episodes where he's just mysteriously missing for a while.
Don't know. They don't really tell us when he's gone and when he's around sometimes. Or
He's
they
just
do
in
in
the
passing
background.
sometimes.
I think those are the episodes where like Yuji is sent to go to the prison. No, that's like 6. Never mind.
You mean during the video training? Gojo shows up during that, so it can't be that.
Yeah. So it would be during that. No, that happens afterwards.
When
Three
he's
episode
dead?
3 and 4 is before
You mean when he's
that.
dead?
Yeah.
Point 14. Related to the previous comment, the difference between blue and purple is that blue makes matter compress, while purple erases it.
Okay. I think that's generally the way we got described, so I feel that feels accurate. We at least had like the other comment also explaining that, right?
Yeah, I think. I mean, we had
Yeah.
it explained to us a number of times. I think it's
Yeah.
either on us now to
We'll
figure
get
it
it
out.
in our head eventually and then still be wrong.
Point 15. Regarding Gojo's eyes. The 6 eyes grant the user a high perception and understanding of cursed energy, allowing perfect control of one's own cursed energy and understanding the cursed energy of others. It also gives a very high quality vision to the user that provides an provides an immense amount of information about the world. This being the reason why Gojo covers his eyes. His vision is overwhelming, which makes him tired. Imagine seeing like the camera of the Large Hadron Collider. Dash, fun fact, the glasses Gojo uses have a higher degree of polarization to the point that it is almost impossible for another person to see through them.
Yeah, there we go. That all makes sense. He has a superpower, and having a superpower on all the time kind of sucks.
It makes me think of there is a Superman story only in a comic.
Hmm.
I can't remember its name. It's basically Flowers for Algernon, but for Bizarro,
Oh
where they
gosh,
come
yeah.
up with a way to make Bizarro normal.
Hmm.
Or the typical definition, white man cis normal, whatever you want to go with there, because Bizarro is backwards for everything.
Sure.
And one of the first things he has to deal with, or he just basically becomes a second Superman for a while, but then he kind of has a breakdown where Superman has to go talk to him, and the conversation is how do you deal with it all the time. And Bizarro goes on about how he can hear everything horrible happening in the world all time, always. And Superman has to have
Right.
a sit down talk with him about, yes, but you can also hear all the great things happening all the time, too.
Hmm. That's actually a really nice moment. The thing that like comes to me, like my reference here would be the book "Soon I Will Be Invincible," which is about basically an evil villain who goes on and saves the world eventually by accident, mostly while trying to kill everyone.
I think most people would
Uh,
call that Megamind.
uh, little bit. It's a weird book, but it's a very funny one. But there's a point at which the main character, or like the main perspective character that's not the villain, is hanging out with all the heroes, has to spend like a night in in like their tower of superheroes together, and just like because they're cyborgs now, they hear everything that is happening, and basically goes on to describe everyone dealing with their superpowers trying to just get to sleep or like deal with them, and basically creates the metaphor of like superpower as disability, because at the end of the day it kind of sucks to have most of them.
I mean, that's the main conceit of Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. That
Hmm.
everything you experience in your teenage years is kind of turned into an X-Men superpower, but it's like a detriment to you,
Yeah.
not an aid. Uh,
Right.
like the girl who gets harmed by social media, so she turns into a shut-in and lives
Hmm.
in her life because every time somebody says something negative about her, social media it turns into like scars across their body.
Oh gosh.
That's why I said it's like the
I
negative
actually
form
like
of a
that. That is a
superpower.
great little style.
That's the conceit of Bunny Girl Senpai. That
That
she dresses up as a bunny girl,
mhm,
like a Playboy bunny, and goes to libraries and shit because people just are eventually forgetting that she exists. This is not the same character I was just referencing
mhm,
before. That she can wander around in public in such a ridiculous outfit because the world is forgetting about her.
mhm. Yeah, no, but that's real good. That has tangentially Scott Pilgrim energy, but like I saw that movie like once ever, so shrug.
Yeah. Point 16, but we're almost at the end.
All right.
Regarding Gojo's domain, infinite void causes an infinite amount of information to flow into the victim's brain. Inside the domain, the victim is forced to receive all the information that surrounds it, from the visible to the imperceptible, such as particles, and this information is repeated countless times, avoiding that the brain processes it, causing it to collapse. The final result may vary. In a person, this would fry their brain, killing them, while
Mhm.
in a cursed spirit who possesses instant regeneration, it only leaves them catatonic. A better analogy would be like opening all the existing programs and internet pages on a laptop at the same time. Guess the result.
Love the metaphor. That's perfect. But yeah, no, I guess that's definitely a case of a superpower. Experience what I experienced for 1 second, and then they just explode. No, I like it. It's funny.
Well, I guess the point being is that the previous point says that Gojo wouldn't even be able to handle that. That's where he wears
Hmm.
the glasses.
Right.
Point 17. This is an important general fact to remember, previously mentioned by Mahito to Junpei, at least in the manga. Sorcerers have a different brain structure than normal people. That is the reason why they can perceive and manipulate cursed energy. Likewise, the reason why they are born with the techniques, as Gojo said in episode 6. Related to point 15 is the reason why Gojo can process all that information, and only him, without crashing his brain.
It definitely more solidly puts down the genetic basis for being a sorcerer here in the show.
One might think that they were a different species, except for this other fact that somebody is going on about today, where they wouldn't be
Well,
able to have kids with other people.
I'm pretty sure everyone wants Gojo's kids, but look, uh, we were talking before, like about like how solidly like the genetic basis is for this because like we have like the family structures and all of that. Like, what are there just random sorcerers out there? I guess it just
Yes.
depends. How common is that mutation to just apparate in the public, or is it like a recessive gene or something?
I mean, we could
Now I'm
literally
thinking
do
of all these
math.
wild things that do not
We
apply.
could literally do math because all we do is like figure out what's the population of Kyoto, and we know how many students are in the Kyoto school. Then you can
Yeah,
build up a what's the what is the odds of how many kids that we know don't get picked up by the school. So we use that as like
yeah.
just an outside margin for that, and then we just figure out what's the percentage based on the population of Kyoto versus amount of sorcerers.
There's like maybe 20 people at the school, right? And let's say the same thing for the other school too, right? So that's like 40. What's the percentage then of people who don't end up at the school?
You said there was 20 people in that school?
I'm ballparking.
Well, there's 1.475 million people in Kyoto.
Yeah. So I mean, if you say like, well, 1 in 10 or 1 in 100, it still doesn't get much better.
Well,
The
let's
odds
see,
are still
our
pretty
listed
low.
number of people that we have in Kyoto, which I imagine might be different from what's in the manga, because the manga might expose us to more background characters and whatnot,
Uh-huh.
is we have one person, the principal, a second year student, and two third year students. And that's it.
I thought I saw slightly more people running around at least one point. Maybe I just when you
Kyoto is
combine
the
both
other
schools.
school, not our main
Yeah.
character school.
Yeah, yeah. So in that case, we're down to
You know,
1 in 1 million.
Toto is Kyoto school, for
Yeah,
example, and Maki, or sorry, Maki is the Tokyo school that our main character goes to.
yeah. So bare minimum, we're looking at like maybe a 1 in 1 million possibility.
Sorry for the long comment, and thank you for always reading it. It is appreciated. I look forward to the following reactions. Season 2 is incredible. Sorry, I was reading. I look forward to the following reactions. Episode 1, Episode 3, Episode... Yeah, like there was going to be a list. Season 2 is incredible.
I'm definitely having fun with season 2 so far, and it is about to get a little bit wild today. We'll get into that in a moment. But thanks for the comment, thanks for all the info, and we're having fun with it too. So after that one, we got our next comment here, which is Pedro Kemerick, who says from Jujutsu Kaisen 0. On season 1, on episode 8, when Megumi was introducing the second year students, at that time Maki, Unumaki, and Panda, he mentions that there is another one, but he is traveling overseas. Hey, we know that one. So at the time of season 1, Yuta wasn't there with Yuji because he was in Kenya with Miguel doing some stuff, not explained what. Also, it is not that Rika was holding a megaphone. As Geto said, her curse energy has boundless form potential. So it's more like Yuta shaped her curse energy into a megaphone that could hold, quote unquote, the curse technique, curse speech. How do you feel about that one, Theta?
What, the second one?
Yeah, the second part.
I mean, it basically holds to the points that we were given by Alex. That,
Okay.
I mean, because Rika's power comes from Yuta, right? So it's more so that Yuta created this thing with all his negative energy, and then he refocused that into this other thing. So it's basically all been Yuta, right?
Right. So there is no Inumaki clan megaphone just hanging around. They don't make them. I thought there was like an entire thing about that.
Well, it's because we know that they focus their their energy
Mhm.
through objects. So it seems like a
Yeah.
obvious thing based on what we already know. But as
It
we
just
already
makes
know
Yuta
going
even more
into this
impressive.
show, the fact that it is the most complicated power set of any show, apparently. So I guess the complexity isn't so much, the rock, paper, scissors of it. The complexity is, hey, here's a bunch of obvious shit, but it's not what you think.
We're inches away from reality warpers, Theta. We're on thin ice here, you know that?
We already have reality warpers. That's what the whole sphere thing is. That's happening all the time.
More so.
Literally, one of them is a sentient volcano that turns everyone around him into a volcano.
Okay, yeah.
By the
Point
way,
taken.
if only 5 people in Kyoto are sorcerers, that is 0.00034% of the population is probably sorcerers. The same amount of people that you would expect to survive in a post-apocalypse scenario. So, oddly, if you wanted to write a fan fiction of your characters that are in Jujutsu Kaisen, surviving, say, a zombie apocalypse or a pandemic, you might not want to write that one these days, though.
Yeah.
And you really, really want to make it. Most post-apocalypse, I've said this in many shows. Most post-apocalypses usually right down to like a 3 to 4% survival rate, which is why there's so many goddamn people that show up in these shows. If you really want to make it a post-apocalypse, those are the numbers you want to shoot for. Where there's like 5 to 6 people left in a city.
All we need now is for them to show up with like 100 sorcerers in a single scene to just like make us like completely redo the math. That's gonna happen eventually.
Well, I mentioned before there is the amount of people that might be unseen in the manga, also versus the amount of people who just get missed by the net.
You remember all the people like Geto pulled in, right? Those are all technically sorcerers, and there were like 5 of them, right? That's double the population.
You're saying
suddenly.
they're obviously sorcerers. We don't know. I mean, I don't remember.
But he also pulled them from
they
different
might
parts
have been
of the world,
curse
too.
users. Curse users and sorcerers are different, remember?
Fair. I'll give you that one.
It's the thing
we'll later.
It's the thing like in Bleach, right? There's the difference between the hollows that combine their powers with I would say Ichigami. Soul Reapers, sorry. There's the difference between the hollows that combine their powers with Soul Reapers and the Soul Reapers that combine their powers with hollows. Thankfully, Bleach made it blaringly obvious because one of them has a hole in her chest and the other wears a mask. Versus this, where everyone's just a fucking human.
Everyone just has the power, and you have to guess now.
That's what I'm saying. Where this one, everyone's a fucking human. So the curse users and the sorcerers just look the fucking same. If you
Look,
want
all
them,
I want to do is do a Dodon Ray or Garlic Beam or, anything like that. Come on, just once. Sorry, I still have that in my mind from Yuji. That's still my favorite moment. So, I think to go ahead and cap all this off, let's go over the recap, which is Hidden Inventory Part 3, where Gojo, Geto, and Amani rescue Kyori. They set off together to the island of Okinawa. However, back in Tokyo, the group is ambushed by somebody with only one goal, to prevent the fusion of Riko Amanani and Tengen. So, the back half of the last time was literally a great big fight with Gojo and our new antagonist swordsman. Theta, what was their name?
I don't know. I don't remember.
All right, fair enough.
But anyway, I was going to pinpoint the fact that you were wrong. That's not where it ended. Gojo was
Right,
dead,
no,
and the girl
ended,
got shot in the head. That's where we ended. And then Geto was about to fight our guy who seems to be related to Gojo somehow.
Geto, who currently is a teenager who seems to like Gojo a fair bit, is now on his villain arc. So we're gonna see how far that takes him and how he gets to be where he is later.
He's not his villain arc. What are you talking about?
Okay, he is as angry as possible and is about to kill a person because he can. For revenge.
Because he was about to let the girl go, and he shot her in the head.
Yeah.
And now
he is as bad
room.
as possible. I'm predicting the villain arc starts now, is what I'm saying. That's the context I'm giving here.
I don't know. I think if you get mad at somebody for murdering somebody in front of you and you take immediate action, that's not villainous. That's just I don't know. Anti-hero is not a villain. I don't think it makes you anything.
It's a normal expected reaction that I feel will eventually spiral out of control.
I don't think it makes you anything in the moment. I think it's what you do after it. Like if you start doing it to unrelated people. Like if he kills this guy, which I don't think is going to happen, but if he kills this guy, walks out onto the street and just kills somebody else, then he's a villain. If he's if he falls down to his knees after he kills this guy and just cries, he's just fucking Geto. It doesn't matter.
We got potential, but we still Gojo tried to fight the swordsman, did not succeed. Geto's not going to fight the swordsman, and we're going to see what crazy stuff he gets up to, because we've only seen a little bit of his combat so far.
Well, I think the point is that Gojo is still fucking alive in the future. So
of course, no, he's totally dead. Don't you know? Everyone is just dying. The future's changing. We're in a new timeline.
We saw apparently. Well, we didn't see. We heard Geto die. So many people want to tell us. So
yeah,
doesn't matter the fact he's walking around, not a spirit or anything, just walking around normal with a tattoo on his forehead.
We gotta get to the bottom of this, is what I'm gonna say. We gotta go ahead and watch this episode. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over on Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord, and let us know what other blaringly obvious things we've gotten wrong in the last season and movie.
帰ろう、リコちゃん。
I hate it because I was rooting for her to have a life and everything.
Right. Yeah, they built it up great. They really sold us on it.
It was also completely unexpected because this guy wasn't carrying a fucking gun around either. He was sword. He was sword guy. So you just weren't expecting the gunshot.
なんでって。ああ、そういう意味ね。五条悟は俺が殺した。
そうか。死ね。
Here we go, right into the fight. Let's do it.
Here comes Falcor. Didn't think we'd have a never-ending story tie-in.
No, Falcor, he's dying.
Also, how long has it been for someone to superpower a gun? Not since our wooden robot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. Mai also used a gun, didn't she? Or Maki. Shit, one of the two.
Yeah, sure did. Though that was more bullet matter generation.
Well, it's just good to know that guns are still a resource we can use. Yeah, are you a sorcerer?
Human to human, yeah, you can just shoot them. I still love that.
So-
It's like all this magic, all the training. Just get a gun. Just
Yeah,
hit
it's
him
just
with a
like
sniper rifle.
it's just saying, are you a sorcerer? Yeah, I think I am.
So, I think did we briefly cover like whether or not like Gojo actually has his like infinite distance off at times when he's relaxed?
He got stabbed. Or if he got stabbed multiple, we saw the thing go through him. So I don't think if that's what you're trying to lean into.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that if you just get a sniper like on a tall building and he's not paying attention.
We already covered his perception is such that he has to wear special glasses to attempt to not see things.
Right. So if he has like the full mask on, then in that case,
remember that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
The dude made him stay active for like 2 days straight to make him tired, so that he could get him at the last minute.
Right. He lets out his guard. He's already exhausted. Gets it. So I guess the sniper has his workout cut out for him too. Then he'd have to do the same tactic.
Well, it's just that we know that Gojo's apparently his super perception is just sight, which means you'd have to get him on something that's not visible. So I guess gas.
Yeah, he doesn't have a super nose, does he?
Although I guess maybe if his super sight's so much, you can see particles.
Yeah, at that point we're dealing with Superman. You know?
Sound waves. Well, Batman tries sound waves on Superman, so why not?
入り口に見張りは置けない。扉の位置さえ分かっちまえば、あとはザル。この時期から術師は忙しくなるし、今高専には妖刀が溢れている。外はてんやわんやさ。
Wonder whose fault that is.
俺は透明人間みたいなもんだ。でも一つ問題があってな。俺が呪具を持つと、呪具の呪力で透明人間じゃなくなっちまう。
He's gonna aim at a tool.
Well, I would also say, you might be an invisible man, but you're not an inaudible man. I can hear you.
俺は物を格納できる呪霊を飼っててな。呪具はそっちに入れて持ち歩く。
It's like a hidden inventory, if you will.
Yeah, well, I wonder. We need to catch your name to that, though.
呪霊に自らの体を格納させてサイズを落とす。それを俺の腹の中にしまう。透明人間は臓物まで透明だろ。
It's not a power I'd want.
There we go.
The power of tapeworm.
Hey,
I mean, this dude's superpower is literally a hidden pocket. It's like, okay, cool.
And he's a great assassin for it, apparently.
透明なままじゃねえと意味ないからな。聖書体を先にやってもよかったんだが、陸眼の視界に入るのは
I'm thinking she's a clone. That wasn't the real her.
術師と同様に情報の開示が能力の底上げになることは知っている。私が聞きたいのはそこじゃない。
So you remember a couple episodes back they mentioned bringing her here to make a clone of her as a decoy.
私たちは毛ほども残影を残さなかった。
So I'm thinking that's what happened.
人間が残す痕跡は残影だけじゃねえ。集積、足跡、五感も呪縛で底上げされてんだよ。
途中に女性が一人いたはずだ。彼女はどうした？
ん？ああ、あのメイドか。多分死んでる。生かす気も殺す気もなかったけどな。運良きゃ生きてんじゃね？
そうか。
Well, I mean, your hit on them already expired by now, I think. So. If she wasn't already dead, she should be fine.
I feel we got a good chance of her surviving. When you can just summon as many laser beams as you want, I think he's definitely deserves special grade here. He really does.
No, Falcor!
最高高度の交流だぞ。
Well, yeah, this is the sword that also pierced Gojo.
呪霊操術。 無謀だな。
It didn't seem like they were that far up.
They're in a bit of free fall here, you know? They're awfully standing still. Oh, hi Sadako. How's it going?
私綺麗。
仮想音量。質問に答えるまでお互いに不可侵を強制する簡易領域か。ああ、そう
It
だな。
enforces
ここはあ
non-violence.
えて
It's the sanctuary spell. With extra steps.
そういう感じね。バカが終わりだな。
Well, it's good to know that Geto had a spirit this whole time. Like it stopped people from fighting.
呪霊操術
Of course it was going to cut every piece of everyone else around her, so...
Well, no, they had to answer questions or something.
暴力を省きほぼ無条件で取り込める能力は特殊だが呪霊自体は強くない取り込める武器庫は抑えたあとは物量でゴリ
Oh. See, that was a great plan. And now he's dead.
I can't wait till we pan back to the end of this episode. And this evil dude is just like sitting on the ground in like a coma. This is all in his fucking head.
Love me a good spin kick, though. I mean, the coma's worth it for that.
術師なら死なねえ程度に切った。式神使いなら殺したが、呪霊操術となるとな。お前の死後、取り込んでた呪霊がどうなるかわからん。
As per the rules we just read.
ここで面倒事は避けたい。親に恵まれたな。だが、その恵まれたお前らが、呪術も使えねえ俺みたいな猿に負けたってこと。長生きしたきゃ忘れんな。
I think this does give us a lot of potential for Maki here, though.
The jokey face.
そうだったそうだった。俺が名付けたんだった。
Are we already at the halfway point?
Yeah, almost.
That was an incredibly long and short fight.
Well, assassin wins.
ほらよ。聖書体、天内理子の遺体、5体フルセットだ。
確かに。金の受け渡しは手はず通りに。
Bump your head this morning?
多少色もつけよう。
さすが教祖様、太っ腹だね。
教祖じゃねえよ。
ああ
マジか。必要経費とはいえ、かなり協力してもらったのにか。むしろごねられると思ったぜ。私たちはダメ元で君に暗殺を依頼した。万世教は奈良時代、天元様が日本仏教の広がりとともに、術師というマイノリティに対する道徳基盤を説いたのが始まりだ。
The moral foundation where I require human sacrifices every couple of years.
Buddhist assassinations, of course. Should guess.
万世教、時の器の会。だから我々は非術師の立場に徹している。様々な謁見を許されている術師も、原則非術師には手を出せないからね。だが時が来てしまった。経典に示されたタブー。絶対的一神教へとなり果てた万世教。その対象である天元様と汚れの動画。
Oh gosh, Christianity's at fault now.
京都の手前、どうかを見過ごせば解が立ち行かなくなる。かといって行動が過ぎれば術師に潰される。もうやけくそだったのだよ、我々は。
For a middleman.
それがどうだ。失うはずだった全てが今や手中にある。財布の紐も緩むというもの。もし天元が暴走すれば
立ち行かなくなるのは人間社会かもしれねえぜ。
You literally have no idea. Nobody has any
星と
idea.
共に落ちるのならばやむなし。
They just like, if that's our fate, sure, whatever. Yeah. Look, I know we killed our two main characters here, but
万世教の協力って
Well, no,
沖縄の
remember?
件か
He literally didn't kill Ghetto at the very
あ
least.
That's true.
メイド殺さなかった。俺言ったよな。適当に遠く連れてって適当に殺せ。
あの時お前のプランがなんとなく理解できたからな。メイド救出失敗の緊張より成功の緩みの方が削りとしてでかいと判断した。上位形をぶらしてこっちの狙いをぼかすのは散々やってきたことだろう。結果オーライつか仲介役こき使ってんじゃねえよ。
I guess, however,
なんで沖縄なんだ。
depending on how he does it, however Gojo survived
そりゃ俺も笑った。
is possibly how Ghetto survives.
普通車だよな。公共
Later, I
交
mean.
通機関はリスク
Right.
なんとプライベートジェット会長の私物だとよ。
だとしてもだろう。
金持ちは考え方のスケールが違う。
その金で飯食おう。接待に使ってる店連れてけよ。
やだよ。お前男におごんねえじゃん。お前と関わるのはな、仕事か地獄でだけって決めてんだよ。
No friendship allowed. So yeah, this is our main character now. This is Jujutsu Kaisen Season 0. Oh.
よう、久しぶり。
マジか。
大マジ。元気ピンピンだよ。
反転術式。
せっかい。お前に喉ぶち抜かれた時、反撃は諦めて反転術式に全神経を注いだ。重力は負のエネルギー。肉体の強化はできても再生することはできない。だから負のエネルギー同士を掛け合わせて正のエネルギーを生む。それが反転
I guess
術
that's
式。
math.
言うはやす
Yeah,
し。
yeah.
俺も今までできたことねえよ。まるで唯一できるやつは何言ってもさっぱりだしな。
こいつ。ハイになってる。
He probably needs a lot of painkillers, quite honestly.
重力の革新。お前の敗因は俺を首ちょんぱしなかったことと、頭をぶっ刺すのにあの呪具を使わなかったこと。
はい。
Yeah, I'm not tired anymore. You can't get the drop on
勝
me.
負はこれからだろう。
そうか。
You have a pint of blood left in you, Gojo. Please.
Well, I mean, our man's here's upside is that he has enhanced senses or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Gojo already has.
術式
Enhanced senses.
赤。
Just floating for fun.
化け物。
He's so happy.
Remember, always do calisthenics.
今の衝撃波が。
Yeah, we're after the Goku warm-up phase. Now we do the stretching.
反転術式によって生まれた正のエネルギーをてめえに刻まれた無加減の術式に流し込んだってわけか。1、止める力。ニュートラルな無加減呪術。2、引き寄せる力。強化した無加減呪術青。そして3、弾く力。術式反転赤。すべて問題なし。違和感。
Well, yeah, I mean, he should be dead. That's what's off.
Gojo was taking a break this whole time.
いや、これでいい。殺す。
honestly, he has to telegraph it from like 20 feet away, right?
Well,
You
yeah,
don't even
because it's
need
all
super
based
senses
on
at that point.
momentum. So as soon as the blade goes across, the guy pulls, and then the thing has to travel the entire chain.
誰も憎んじゃいない。今はただただこの世界が心地いい。
I guess she just did die. We didn't get the duplicate thing at all.
Just death. And Gojo vibin'.
天上天下唯我独尊。代々伝わる送電の術式のメリットは取説があること。
Ah, so he's part of the Armstrong line.
術式の情報が漏れやすいこと。あんた全員家の人間だろう。無加減呪術のことはよく知ってるわけだ。だがこれは五条家の中でもごく一部の人間しか知らない。
Where I
Oh, he
just
just
fucking stop time.
Hell yeah.
順天と反転。
Or purple.
それぞれの無限を衝突させることで生成される仮想の質量を押し出す。挙式、紫。
I guess technically he should have that power, right? If he can create an infinite mass by bringing a bunch of mass together,
違和感。
it's literally
ただ働き
in your
なんてごめ
ballpark
ん
of
だね
skills.
It is a bit silly, but it is also super cool. Is the
だが目の前には覚醒した無加減呪術の使い手、おそらく現代最強となった術師。否定したくなった。
Doesn't mean technically Gojo should be able to create a black hole and then disperse it.
否定した全員
It's
家
in his power set.
呪術界。
also this means Gojo's god now, according to the Star
自
people.
分を肯定するために
Remember, we already had a commenter say Gojo could kill everybody in Japan in an instant if he wanted.
その時点で負けてい
Well,
た。
here's the proof.
I love how in anime nobody has internal organs. You're just a bloody mush.
Anything more would be pretty horrible to look at, is my answer.
自分も他人も尊ぶことない
We get enough of that in
So maybe
Baby
that's the
Loon.
生き
sister
方を
then?
選んだんだろうが
If that's Megumi, or are you just remembering yourself from the third person? Because weird people do that.
最後に言い残すことはあるか。
Take care of my
Yeah.
brother.
Nah.
Yeah, so I guess Megumi holding his sister then.
2、3年もしたら俺のガキが全員家に売られる。好きにしろ。
Died standing.
Oh, I like the added detail that his hand was below this part that got cut off, so his hand is just laying on the ground, even though his arm and everything around it were blown away.
There we go. So originally I was thinking it's like, oh, brothers? Like, no, father.
Well, that's why he
Megumi's
said
father.
earlier. That's
Gojo
literally
killed him,
why
and
he
now
said
Gojo
earlier in
adopted
the
him.
episode I named him Megumi.
Yeah, it finally clicked once you said that.
Yeah, your older brother doesn't name you, so
So, season 0 is going to be us going through each of the 3 first years and seeing exactly why Gojo ruined it for them.
season
And that's
0.
why he's adopted them all here.
What's season 0?
That's what I'm thinking anyway. What else though? What else? So Geto's at least alive, we know that. The world is doomed. A new god is going to be born. My guess is on Gojo.
They literally just guessed that's what would happen.
Yeah.
They have no idea, is what I'm saying. You're talking about Tengo, right?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was going on about like, yeah, this is now that we've done this, we're in the new era where like we'll have the one true god or whatever.
Well, no, they said if she didn't, it didn't absorb the girl, they'd become like they might become a new being They have no
Mhm.
idea. They're just guessing at God. I had no reason to think that thing wouldn't have survived.
What are you up to, Ghetto? What?
Geto joins the cults.
It's the Evangelion ending. Congratulations.
It's the star. It's the star people. Obviously.
遅かったな、スグル。いや、早い方か。都内にいくつ万世教の施設があるって話だもんな。
サトルだよ
All
な。
right.
何があった？
証拠には会えたんだな。
ああ、直して
I
も
have to say, it's more surprising that Geto's healed by now.
いや、私に問題がなくても仕方ないな。
俺がしくった。お前は悪くない。
戻ろう。
スグル、こいつら殺すか？今の俺な
Oh,
ら
no.
多分何も感じな
Well,
い。
you're technically not allowed to,
いい。
but that doesn't mean you're not able
意味が
to.
ない。見たところ、ここには一般教徒しかいない。呪術界を知る主犯の人間はもう逃げた後だろう。懸賞金と違って、もうこの状況は言い逃れできない。もともと問題のあった団体だ。次期解体される。
Ghetto's just in the middle of rationalization. Gojo's just disassociating.
それ、本当に必要か？
Just keep clapping, maybe they'll leave.
大事なことだ。特に術師にはな。
意外な一面って慣用句を考えた人は人間を立体だと思ってて、薄っぺらいって悪口を考えた人は人間を平面だと思ってたのかな。次回玉折。どちらにせよ
That makes sense to me.
裏と表はあるんだね。
Well then.
Well, to be fair, if you think about people as cubes, then they've got more than two sides.
I think everybody is pretty square though. So
It's hip to be square.
oh gosh, that was a lot to take in at the very end there. What's your interpretation of all that just happened? I need to hear it. I need something to bounce off of here.
Of which part?
The talk between Geto and Gojo at the very end, where Gojo is clearly not in a good state of mind and is still like in shock.
Well, no,
And
Gojo
Geto
is
was, like,
evolved
trying to-
into godhood, so I assume he's seeing the world as ants, and he's asking if it's all right to just kill people. Whereas Geto is seeing the dead body of the girl he was about to let free from her responsibilities, and is considering killing a room full of people that are associated with the people that had her killed. But at the same time, is remembering his legal responsibility to the government, which says that sorcerers cannot touch regular people. And
he's rationalizing.
And he's starting to wonder if he should not just kill them anyway, which is the darkness that we literally see surrounding him in the outro segment. So
it was the thing I was guessing might happen like some point this episode, so we're kind of like building onto that. But yeah, no, he has heavy rationalization. He is desperately trying to conjure a reason for something to happen. Despite the fact that there really doesn't have to be. Gojo is technically right here. There doesn't have to be any reason for this. Stuff just happens.
Well, no, Geto is rationalizing that they're going to be dissolved anyway, so it doesn't really matter what happens.
Oh, well, yeah, that's also fair. If everyone gets dissolved, it's kind of all over too, right?
No, the
Oh,
organization.
gosh.
The leaders that have any idea about what's happening have already fled, and these people don't know anything. There's a bunch of clapping idiots, and he's saying that they're going to get dissolved anyway, so it doesn't matter what happens. He's basically indicating it would be pointless to do anything to them. Alive or dead, they don't matter.
Right. Oh, gosh, that's no matter how you slice any of that argument, it comes out with Geto is not okay either. Any choice he makes out of that whole thing is like not a great choice. But gosh, yeah, no, yeah, Gojo can stop time, manipulate all of space, and create infinite, imaginary mass. Yeah, no, what do you do about that? Nothing can stop him now. In fact, no, actually, where do we go after this? Because I assumed that would have been the build-up for the entire season for him to get to something like this, right?
I don't know. It seems like it's pretty easy to still kill him. I think our dude who has the voice control powers could probably kill him, because he could probably just get him to kill himself. Also,
probably.
Also, Freddy Krueger could kill him.
But, like, I imagined the arc he would be on would be the arc to control his power, right? That's where he started a couple of episodes. He's like, well, I can't quite do this. Well, I sometimes get distracted. I need to do X, Y. I'm always really thinking about it, you know? And now he's not thinking at all. So he's already gone on his arc. He's completed that arc. He's done. He doesn't have anything else on that front to go for. So what's next, actually? No thoughts on that one, though?
No, because the story hasn't told us what the next thing is. I don't know what the next thing is until the story tells us.
Right.
We're in the past, Griff, so we're before the movie.
We're
moving from... Yeah. They didn't talk a lot about what happened to them before the movie started. So, yeah. I have no idea.
Okay, so we are in prequel territory. We have a theoretical Earth-level threat about to happen, supposedly, because of the murder that happened here, right? And we know the Earth is still there later. So either it doesn't happen and it doesn't matter, or the rest of the season is stopping that. Those, I think, are the two choices.
They've taken a weird tact here to let us know that everybody survives and is relatively happy before putting us into the danger.
Yeah, it's funny, it's weird, but we're still getting some absolutely crazy stuff out of it at least. So at least I'm happy. I'm happy for that. I'm here for it. Gojo just floating on his back, just like high as a kite, just enjoying life. Is a vibe for sure.
Well, I mean, he was thinking everything out. We got the details of the families and whatnot from that.
He said something to the lines of like, I now understand the truth of cursed energy, so hopefully we get more of that. I'd love to know the truth.
Well, I mean, it's basically the Full Metal Alchemist thing.
Yeah.
He now understands how this energy works, because he didn't understand the principal was telling him before. I assume he was referring to the principal. And now he does, because he had to do it himself.
Right. Yeah, he's finally figured it out. So, actually, that does go ahead and bring it to mind. The principal is totally aware of that then, right? He'd have to be on the same journey at some point.
Well, he's not the principal.
Going to go on this journey.
He's not the principal yet, so actually I'm wrong.
Principal eventually. Anyway.
Well, he wasn't... I assume he was referring to the principal at the time. I wasn't thinking about the guy now, because he was referring to like an authority above him, whereas the principal right now is literally like the same year as Gojo, so...
Yeah. All right, then. So I think that's about where we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the day. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?